If you did anything out of line, they just come and take away and stick a needle up you.
We just encourage people, if they need to completely break down, to completely break open.
Angry, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Among the bemused Burtonport locals, the residents of the house named Atlantis were nicknamed the Screamers. The new settlers and their turbulent ways didn't blend in with the regulated pace of County Donegal village life, so they sought fresh pastures. They sailed from Burtonport, the half-hour journey to Inishfree Island. This is a secluded spot. In the 1930s, a pair of teachers had 80 pupils here. 2 elderly brothers are all who remain now of the island stock. The Screamers own a clutch of cottages in Inishfree, and the location of the place suits them.
Well, it was on the wrong tracks. I mean, society out there, we feel, or I felt, lots of people felt, was completely on the wrong tracks, and I got on the wrong way altogether, was heading towards destruction. You know, people had lost themselves in artificiality and cars and status symbols, and we're heading for destruction, pollution, nuclear warfare, and we're still doing it, and it's accelerating more and more and more. And we want, our small group here, part of it, wants to reverse the trend and go back, you know, go back to living more basically, go back to living a lot more naturally, to find out what went wrong. Because the human race is taking a wrong turning, and we want to go back and see if we can undo it.
Like the women are women, really, and
the men are men.
The men hopefully are men.
Like the women do the women's work and feminine things, and the men are, you know, do a lot of the building and are encouraged to be men, and the women are encouraged to be more feminine, you know, and not be equal, because men and women are not equal in, you know, physical strength, and men have a different, I don't know, role in life.
The emphasis on living more naturally is an important part of this community's current image. From the soddened rock of Inishfree, they grow more than enough food to keep themselves. When they lived at Burtonport, their house was sometimes called an offbeat mental hospital, so the whitewashed cottages, surrounded by rows of healthy crops, are a striking development. Years ago, foundress of the community, Jenny James, said this was to be a university which studied people. The openness and personal relationships, so important in those early days, is still among the Screamers' first principles.
This morning I was asking Alex to tell me some news of things that happened over the past week, because I've been away, and Alex was completely, he was moaning, and oh God, he was terrible. He was just being really, really bad tempered, as if I was asking him for a pound of flesh, you know, instead of just a little bit of news about things that had happened, you know. And in the end I said, what's wrong, Alex? And he said, no, nothing's wrong. So I told him what was wrong, was that he's just sort of started this relationship with Mary, and he wants to really boast about it, and he can't be bothered talking about anything else, you know. And until he got that off of his shoulders, he was just a complete pain.
The Screamers don't scream anymore, but they still fight. Aggression is sometimes confined to verbals. Occasionally it's expressed in musical form, but there are physical confrontations. One stabbing was an isolated incident, but the kind of row in which Ken got his nose broken is more common. Within this community, such behaviour is acceptable in pursuit of emotional honesty and fulfilment. 9 years on, the Screamers continue to attract attention. Hundreds stay with them annually. Most visitors, like Alex, are dissatisfied with the outside world and its ways.
I was a student, and I got a degree in philosophy and economics at St Andrews University. And after that, I spent a lot of time, did various odd jobs, like began to train as a chartered accountant, worked at ICI. And I found myself being really miserable and unhappy. I'd been told that once I got my degree, I'd feel good to be happy. And then I got told once I got my chartered accountancy qualification, then I'd be happy. And at school, I'd always been told that the next year, once I'd got my next exams, I was going to be happy. I got fed up with this. I got fed up with being told that, happiness is, dependent on getting my qualifications in another 6 years' time. And a lot of me said, sod this, I want it now.
Despite their achievements in Inishfree, the Screamers are restless once more. At present, most members are at Dartmouth in southern England, preparing a boat for yet another journey.
We have a captain called Tristan Jones, who's a sort of quite famous old mariner. He's been all around the world and trapped in ice floes and done all sorts of crazy adventures and things like that. Very experienced captain, and he's going to captain us, or some of us, on this old wooden boat that we have in Dartmouth, and they're going to go down to the Canary Isles, across the Atlantic, and onto the coast of South America, and sort of nose around there and explore and see what it's like, and see if they can find a place to live that would be suitable to move the whole commune.